Let me move on to another debate that's been very controversial for you. And this is, you got in trouble for refusing to call trans men and women by their preferred personal pronouns.
No, that's not actually true. I got in trouble because I said I would not follow the compelled speech dictates of the federal and provincial government. I actually never got in trouble for not calling anyone anything.
Right.
That didn't happen.
You wouldn't follow the change of law, which was designed
not
to
once
outlaw
it was law.
discrimination.
No.
Why
that's what they said it was designed to do.
OK, you cited freedom of speech in that. Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
이 부분이 피터슨이 토론에서 확실한 우위를 다지고 이 인터뷰가 유명세를 탈 수 있도록 일조한 부분입니다. 우선 표현의 자유는 흔히 헌법이 보장하고 있는 자유 중에 하나죠. Social Justice Warrior는 줄여서 SJW라고도 하는데 한국식 속어로 의역하면 씹선비나 프로불편러 정도가 될 수 있죠. 이들의 일반적인 주장은 당신의 표현의 자유는 나의 권리를 침해하지 않는 한에서만 인정된다죠. 여기서 앵커가 말한 My right not to be offended와 같은 맥락입니다. 피터슨의 답변을 이제 보시죠.
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
Well, I'm very glad I put you on the spot.
Well,
I'm very glad that I have exercised my freedom of speech.
You get my point. It's like you're doing what you should do, which is digging a bit to see what the hell's going on.
So
and that is what you should do. But you're exercising your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me. And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
Except you haven't sat there and... I'm just trying to work that out. I mean...
Gotcha.
You have got me. I'm trying to work that through in my head. Yeah, it took a while.
It did, yeah.
It took a while.
More power to you라는 표현은 사실 영국 영어권 표현에서 더 자주 보이는 표현이에요. 전편에서 앵커가 사용한 Women get their sharp elbow out 이라는 표현을 풀어드린 거 기억하시죠? 이것도 비슷한 의미에서 more power to your elbow에서 유래된 표현입니다. 그래, 잘 들고 있어 라는 의미를 함축해서 짧게 쓴 표현이 more power to you인데 이건 직역하면 그래, 내게 더 힘을 더 라는 표현이 돼서 완전 이상해지죠. 의역하자면 잘하고 있어, 잘해봐입니다. 근데 한국말도 아다르고 어다르듯이 이 표현도 비아냥거리고 비꼬는 투로 쓰기가 쉽습니다. 예를 들어 선생님이 우리 반의 축제를 안 갖고 오는 놈이 더러 있는데 시험에서 만회할 생각이라면 잘해봐라 라고 할 때 이 잘해봐라라는 표현도 more power to you 라고 할 수 있습니다.
You have voluntarily come into the studio and agreed to be questioned.
Mm-hmm.
A trans person in your class has come to your class and said they want to be called
That's never happened. And I would call them she.
So you would. So you've kind of changed your tune on that.
No, I said that right from the beginning. What I said at the beginning was that I was not going to cede the linguistic territory to radical leftists, regardless of whether or not it was put in law. That's what I said. And then the people who came after me said, oh, you must be transphobic and you mistreat a student in your class. It's like, I never mistreated a student in my class. I'm not transphobic, and that isn't what I said.
Well, except you've also called trans campaigners authoritarian, haven't you? I mean, isn't that grossly...
Well, only in the broader context of my claims that radical leftist ideologues are authoritarian, which they are.
You're saying someone who's trying to work out their gender identity, who may well have struggled with that, had quite a tough time over the years.
With it, yeah.
You're comparing them with, you know, Chairman Mao, who saw the deaths of millions of people. Well, even if the activists, you know, they're trans people too. They have a right to say these things.
Yeah, but they don't have a right to speak for their whole community.
To compare them to Chairman Mao or, you know, Pinochet, Augusto Pinochet. I mean, you know, this is grossly insensitive.
I didn't compare them to Pinochet.
Well,
I did compare them to
He was an authoritarian.
He's a right-winger, though. I was comparing them to the left-wing totalitarians. Okay. And I do believe they are left-wing totalitarians.
Under Mao, millions of people died.
Right.
I mean, there's no comparison between Mao and a trans activist, is there?
Why not?
Because trans activists aren't killing millions of people?
The philosophy that's guiding their utterances is the same philosophy.
The consequences are...
Not yet.
You're saying that trans activists could lead to the deaths of millions of people?
No, I'm saying that the philosophy that drives their utterances is the same philosophy that already has driven us to the deaths of millions of people.
OK, tell us how that philosophy is in any way comparable.
Sure, that's no problem. The first thing is that the philosophy presumes that group identity is paramount. That's the fundamental philosophy that drove the Soviet Union and Maoist China. And it's the fundamental philosophy of the left-wing activists. It's identity politics. It doesn't matter who you are as an individual. It matters who you are in terms of your group identity.
You're just
That's
saying these
murderous.
things, though, to provoke, aren't you? I mean,
Not
you
a
are a
bit.
provocateur.
I never say
You're like
anything.
the alt-right that you hate to be compared to. You want to stir things up.
I'm only a provocateur insofar as when I say what I believe to be true, it's provocative. I don't provoke. Maybe for
You
humor
don't set out to
now
provoke.
and then. I'm not interested in provoking.
But what
Not in
about the thing
least.
about, fighting and the lobster? Tell us about the lobster.
Well, that's quite a segue.
조던 피터슨의 참교육 영상은 이 편을 마지막으로 앵커의 마지막 발악과 흥미로운 표현 몇 가지 간략히 풀어드리고 마치겠습니다. 우선 앵커는 마지막 부분에 성전환들이 수년간 괴로워했을 걸 생각해보라면서 감정에 호소합니다. 그러고선 1분도 지나지 않아서 당신은 그저 시비나 털러 다니는 위선자다라고 공격을 합니다. 이 접근 방식은 사람의 감정선을 흔드는 전략으로 미국 토론 배틀에서 자주 보이는 행위입니다. 부인하거나 거부할 수 없는 인간적인 면을 호소하다가 분노를 이야기하는 아주 전형적인 감정 유발 전략이죠. 번역에서는 제가 따로 강조하지 않았지만 앵커가 한 말 중에 You're like the alt-right you hate to be compared to 라고 몰아붙이죠. 앵커는 피터슨이 도발을 일삼는다고 했는데 위선자라고 부르는 걸 보면 앵커가 도발을 하고 있는 것이 자명합니다. 피터슨은 이해지지 않고 차분히 대답하죠. I'm only a provocateur insofar as to 라고 입장을 설명하는데 only insofar as to 라는 표현은 그러한 한에서라는 뜻으로 비슷한 영어 표현으로는 only as far as 혹은 to the extent that 이라는 표현들이 있습니다. 그리고 마지막으로 이 segway라는 단어 알아두시면 참 좋은 게 엄청 많이 쓰여요. 예를 들어 이런 상황이 있었다 쳐봅시다. 누군가가 자신의 경력에 대해서 설명할 때 자기가 어떤 프로젝트 때문에 야간 학교에 수강을 들었어야 했었던 일이 있었다 칩시다. 그러면 그런 상황을 영어로 설명하자면 어떻게 설명을 할까요? 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠죠. When you walk him through your experiences, you can emphasize the importance of this project to seg into why you had to take the night classes. 이런 식으로 말이죠. 영어권 애들은 대화를 하거나 글을 쓸 때 연결사를 중요시 여기고 그리고 다음 주제로 넘어가는 전환점을 굉장히 중요시 여깁니다. 그래서 마지막으로 갑자기 막 시비를 털고 감정선을 흔들다가 랍스터에 대한 설명을 해달라고 하니까 That's quite a segue 이렇게 실수한 겁니다.